Greetings, Guardians. The Hijabi Gamer here, and my apologies for last week. I'll admit I got caught up in things, and I was just... Anyway, that aside, I'm back. It's Tuesday, and I have the weekly reset video for Original Destiny. In addition, I also have the bosses for Challenge of the Elders, and boy, did it challenge. But I have it. You can go in prepared, more prepared than I was. I will also be uploading a video of my solo run-through Challenge of the Elders. Anyway, let's see what's going on in Original Destiny while everybody else is off in Destiny 2. So, yeah, I still prefer Original Destiny. I do, yes, I threatened to cancel my Nightfall pre-order, but I'm an addict. I can't help it. I'm sorry. So I did pre-order, and I did install it. Destiny 2 Nightfall. I don't know when I'll start playing it, but I did get it. Let me know, one of my biggest worries is if something happens to Ghost. Every time they do this big updates, I'm always like, oh my god, are they going to do something to Ghost? Because honestly, Ghost is my favorite character in all of video games. Anyway, you're not here to hear me ramble on about Destiny 2. Let's bring on Original Destiny. So what's going on in Original Destiny? First off, we've got Crucible, Mayhem Rumble, which should be easier to get into because it's, 6 people, each one of them individual, Mayhem Rumble, Insanity Chaos. However, as I've always pointed out, you still can get into private matches. So if you can't get into a public match, you can create private matches, and you can get you can even do SPARROW Racing League. People have told me that Nightfall might bring. They're saying it's a city setting. Why not bring back SPARROW Racing for that? But yeah, they're not gonna bring. I don't know why. Anyway, the way to get private matches for the Crucible, private match, game options, and pick the type. Now, it looks like you can't pick it because it's blacked out, but no, you can. SPARROW Racing, you need to change. The reason is because the default map is not eligible for SPARROW Racing, so you just gotta pick one of the maps, and then you can, adjust everything else. That's how you do private matches for Crucible, and how to get SPARROW Racing League as a private match. Because you can even go in by yourself. I've done it by myself just for the fun of it, because it's SPARROW Racing. Yeah. Anyway, so that's private matches and SPARROW Racing, and you get a Treasure of Ages box and 10 legendary marks. So get on that. Though there are other ways to do that. Anyway, next we've got weekly story playlist. Best way to farm legendary marks. You can get over 100 legendary marks. Do it 5 times. First time you will get legendary marks and a Treasure of Ages box, then you'll get more legendary marks. Keep in mind, you can only carry 200 legendary marks, so once you reach 200, you need to spend some, or you will earn them, but you won't get them. So that's important. What am I at right now? I'm at 173. You can carry a maximum of 25,000 credits. Glimmer, why am I thinking credits? 25,000 Glimmer and 200 legendary marks. Anyway, we've got one of my favorites, Iron Lords, as in Rise of Iron, which, seriously, if they have retconned Rise of Iron, I'm going to be pissed. Because you notice, if you're playing Destiny 2, the Cosmodrome is pre-Rise of Iron, which I don't understand why. I can understand maybe they'd be like, Siva has been handled, so there would be no Siva, but like the hole in the wall, when you play Iron Lord, or the Rise of Iron, the massive hole in the wall, you're telling me they fixed the Cosmodrome before they fixed the tower? So if they did retcon Rise of Iron, I will be pissed, because that is one of my favorites. Anyway, the modifiers are heroic. Enemies appear in greater numbers and are more aggressive because, as I've said, you haven't brought them cookies or brownies or cupcakes. You conquer them once, then you expect to conquer them again, and they will not be more aggressive and in greater numbers. Next, you have exposure. Guardian shields are increased but do not replenish. The best weapon to use against exposure is Red Death. Red Death will heal you, so you can get it to replenish your shields. So every time it comes up with Xur, I have said pick up Red Death. If you haven't picked it up at this point, unless you're a new person, welcome, new person. I did tell you to pick up Red Death multiple times. Good gun to have. Next time it comes up, pick it up because it's great for exposure. And next we have Airborne. Players deal more damage while in the air, which is preferable to Grounded. I hate Grounded. Airborne, I like. Grounded, I don't. So the Iron Lords, my favorite I love the Taken King and Iron Lord and Rise of Iron. Honestly, I love Original Destiny, but so mission weekly story playlist. Next, we got the Siva Crisis Heroic, and you get Treasure of Ages box and Legendary Marks 3 times, so 30 Legendary Marks total. You do it 3 times. I've always found it interesting that you get more Legendary Marks for doing weekly story playlist. Crisis Strikes, Siva Crisis Heroic Strike playlist takes longer and is more of a challenge than weekly story. You know what? Now that I think about it, strikes in Original Destiny, and I mean in Destiny 2, if you're doing like the Vanguard playlist where you're matched, are easier. I think. They really feel, you know what? Siva Crisis Heroic Strike playlist does not feel as much of a grind in Original Destiny than it does Destiny 2. Maybe it's just me. Modifiers are heroic. Enemies appear in greater numbers and are more aggressive. Next time, bring brownies. I feel like brownies. So brownies and whipped cream. That sounds really good. Next, we have Juggler. No ammo drops for your equipped weapon. This is both a good and a bad. The bad is you have to regularly switch around your weapons. The good, though, is if you're using your primary, you will get more special and heavy ammo. I have noticed when Juggler's in effect, I will always have more heavy ammo. Because if you're using your primary weapon, no primary ammo will drop. So you'll get more of the other two, which are usually rarer. So there's a good and a bad to Juggler. Airborne, players deal more damage while in the air. Yeah, at least it's not grounded. And Catapult, grenade recharge rate is greatly increased. Not that bad. I mean, the only real negative is Juggler. Heroic is always an option with these, so Juggler is really the only negative. Airborne is in your favor, and Catapult is in our favor. So the only one really not in our favor is Juggler. And Juggler is a mixed bag. Honestly, I don't consider Juggler that much of a negative. Unless you're doing, like, Challenge of the Elders, then it can be a pain in the butt. But other than that, no. So this is pretty good. Maybe I'll do some Siva Crisis. Honestly, I've got, like, a million other games I want to play, though, right now. From Hogwarts Legacy to, Atomic Hearts. And I'm hearing, what's that other one that's supposed to be really good? So, ton of stuff to play. Anyway, so that's the Siva Crisis Heroic. Next, we have the weekly Nightfall strike. So the Nightfall is on Mars. I have soloed it, but it's been, like I said, most of this stuff, it's been a very, very long time. So even when it's like, yeah, I did solo it like 3 or 4 years ago, so I don't remember how I did it. Because when I soloed strikes, Nightfalls, I would like go through it and have the whole pattern set. Now I can't remember how exactly I did it so that I could redo it again. It's not the Undying Mind, it's the Dust Palace. So this is the one with the flares that will get you, if you're a hunter, these beauties. The mantles. Yeah, these are nicer in Destiny. Honestly, the cloaks in Original Destiny are so much better. I have a much bigger collection of cloaks in Original Destiny. The other reason I'm avoiding Destiny 2 is because my vault is full. So I need to just go in there and, like, wipe a ton of stuff. But these are what you get for defeating the flares. So the modifiers for that's the Siva Crisis Heroic. The Nightfall are, let's see. You've got Epic, which is the mega version of Heroic. It's Heroic squared. Heavily shielded and highly aggressive enemies appear in great numbers. That's going to be there every time with the Nightfall. Then you have Berserk. Minions of the Darkness won't flinch even after massive damage. Yes, fun, especially in a Nightfall that is Cabal heavy. Because how do you defeat Cabal? You shoot them in the foot or the shoulder so they flinch and drop their shield, and then you shoot them in the head. Well, you're not doing that when Berserk is in effect. Yeah, this is when Cabal were real men and had real shields. Now, you got the Red Legion. You know, the mighty Red Legion that are like the best of the Cabal, and yet you can shoot through their shields. Grineer from Warframe, you know, with like single-digit IQs, have better shields than the Red Legion Cabal. So you are not shooting through the Cabal shields in Original Destiny. So Berserk really makes the Cabal a nightmare to deal with. Yeah. So Berserk, not fun. Then you got small arms. Primary weapon damage is favored, which is pretty sweet. I'm a big small arms person. I like primary weapons. So that's a good one to have, though. But Berserk, dear God. Then you got Chaff. Player radar is disabled. That's not that bad. Not that bad. It could be so much worse. Chaff is not that bad. I mean, Berserk is the big one. And then you have Match Game. Enemy shields are resistant to all unmatched elemental damage. Now, I hope you picked up Zalo Supercell when I suggested it. Because while I am lucky to have like 2 or 3 primary adept weapons from raids, like this one over here, you could go with the Zalo Supercell. And then you can go with, say, a Solar and then a Void. So you will have all 3 elements from Match Game. And this one is actually decent against the Cabal with their shields because it does a lot of See, arc projectiles have the chance to chain lightning when enemies are close, so they will chain lightning between them. Double kills with this weapon, charge a small amount of your super energy and return ammo to the magazine. So this is great. I've used it against Cabal, and it's like it chains them. So that's why I would recommend it. I've always recommended pick up Zalo Supercell. I think Zalo Supercell is better than Risk Runner. People are always like, oh, no, they did bring Zalo to Destiny 2. No, they brought Risk Runner, which is a new weapon. They did not bring Zalo Supercell. Risk Runner is similar to Zalo Supercell, but Zalo Supercell is better. And it's okay. I mean, I would recommend Zalo Supercell. Anyway, Match Game, yeah, you need a shield. Now, a lot of the Cabal, I think the Scions are generally Void. And then you have to deal with the, they always put Match Game with this one because you have to deal with each one of the Scion Flayers because it's basically 3 mini bosses all together at once. And each one of them has their massive shields. So you have to get through their specific elemental shield. And then you have to get through the enemy itself. But once you get, it's 3 kind of smaller bosses. So yeah, Match Game makes sense. They always put Match Game. But yeah, it's, honestly, this isn't a bad Nightfall. But then, as I said, it's been a very long time since I've done it, so I can't say for sure. But I did solo it, and I mean, keep in mind, I keep forgetting to mention this. This is original Destiny. You need skeleton keys. You will get a skeleton key for doing the Nightfall, so make sure your inventory, you have spot for it. Because let's say you don't have a skeleton key right now, you will get one doing the Nightfall, and then you can use the skeleton key to open the chest. I have one, so I'll use it if I do the Nightfall to open the chest. But always make sure you have a spot open. So Nightfall, keep in mind, always pick up the bounties from Commander Zavala. You have to go to Commander Zavala to pick up the 3 weekly Nightfall bounties. The rest of the bounties are on the bounty board, but you have to go to Commander Zavala. I always remind everyone every week, don't forget to go to Commander Zavala to pick up his Nightfall bounties. And I will try to be on Destiny this weekend at some point because I know several people who want to play original Destiny, and it would be nice to do a Nightfall. Keep in mind, like I said, I am definitely out of practice. I've been doing I've been trying to keep up with the Challenge of the Elders on a weekly basis to just make sure I'm not completely out of practice. But yeah, it's been a while. Anyway, that's the weekly Nightfall. Like I said, Zavala bounties. Then we've got Challenge of the Elders. Now, let me just start first with the modifiers. The modifiers for Challenge of the Elders are fresh troops. Some enemy squads have been fortified with additional reinforcements. And boy, have they been modified. Then you have grenade kill bonus. Grenade kills are worth more points. And you have grounded. Players take more damage while airborne. Which for me, as someone who's constantly jumping all over the map, this is a nightmare. Now, normally, I would be like, hey, go with Knife Juggler. But it's rough. It's give or take. Honestly, what blew me away was at the start of the 3rd round, I was at 7,500 points. When I finished the 3rd round, all right, I was at 23,000 points. So I went from 7,000 to 23,000 in one round. And that was the last one. Because the first round was really rough, and I will go over it. The second one sucked when it comes to the throwing knife. Again, I'll explain it. And then the third one was perfect for the throwing knife. So, who do we have for Challenge of the Elders? First, we have Noruisk, Servant of Oryx. That is the Taken Cabal. And let me tell you, this was rough. Because we have fresh troops, and their definition of fresh troops are a garbage ton, a yikip ton, flares, scion flares, jumping all over the place, and they are replicating themselves like crazy. Wow. And he seems to be throwing his axiom dart a lot more. Like, if you do him normally, he increases the rate of throwing that the closer you get to beating him. So it starts out easier, and then it gets harder and harder. So by the end, you're like, you have to be on your toes when it comes to that axiom dart. And that thing is annoying because it will move around. Like, you will be aiming, it just will suddenly drop. Like, you'll shoot, and it will just suddenly drop, and you will miss it. It is. So, this was rough. Because he was throwing that thing nonstop. I think I died like 5 times. And then the scions were constantly replicating. And they were more aggressive. They were really, really aggressive. So, it like I said, Norusk, Servant of Oryx, taking Cabal. So I did not get, I went nuts on this one. So my score was really bad. The second is Vex. Time Stalker of the Vex, the Overmind Minotaur. Now, the only problem with the Overmind Minotaur, and it comes to the Hunter's Throwing Knife, is yes, there is an aim assist. I won't deny, there's an obvious aim assist with the Hunter's Throwing Knife. And the aim assist is really bad when you are fighting Vex. Not taken Vex, Vex. Because the precision kill point for the Vex is the white spot on their stomach. The aim assist for the throwing knife, which is like, why didn't you set it correctly? For the Vex, the aim assist goes for their head. So you will automatically, no matter how hard you try, go for the head, which you cannot go for the head with the Vex. So that's why yes, like I said, Time Stalker of the Vex, the Overmind Minotaur. Which is why my score when I started the 3rd round was 7,500. The 3rd round is Vex, but it's Taken Vex. Taken Vex, precision kills are in the head. So that was a piece of cake. I could not believe I made it all the way up to 23,000 in that, from 7,000. I mean, that blew my mind. But it was rough. So just be prepared. You'll see me, I will be uploading that video. It was rough. Don't forget, as I definitely did forget, to use a House of Judgment reputation booster. You can pick those up from the Silver Dust store. And 3 of coins between bosses. You need to use one each boss. Okay? I, of course, obviously forgot. However, I did go up a rank with Varix. Don't forget to pick up Varix's bounties. And they hold. Like, I don't always complete them that week. So, they'll be around for next week. I went up a rank, so I'm at 23 with Varix. Which is nice. So, yeah, this one was rough. But I did finish it, so. Sweet. And you can tell because it's filled in. Cool. Alright, and finally, the weekly featured raid is Templar Challenge, Atheon Challenge. That would be the Vault of Glass. Let me know in the comments below. I really want to do the Vault of Glass. I only did it once on PlayStation, and they basically ran me through it. They were like, we're just going to carry you because I wanted the no time to explain. Oh, by the way, this is it. They're not like the others. This is my favorite scout rifle. Not a very good scout rifle. Keep in mind, alright? I know it's not a very good one. It's got explosive rounds, third eye. Not a very... But you know why this one has a special place? It was the first legendary scout rifle I ever got. I remember doing daily, back before weekly story playlists. This was daily story playlist missions. And I was ridiculously underpowered. I mean, I remember going absolutely nuts trying to do this one mission, which is on Mars, which is like one of the first ones for the Taken King, where they send you to investigate. And you have to fight that Echo of Oryx. And then at the end, it's timed. And I was going absolutely nuts because I kept running out of time because it was on the weekly, daily heroic mission. Because I wanted to get a legendary scout rifle. So This one, I am never dismantling. This thing, I know, not the best one. Anyway, let me know. I really want to get, No Time to Explain on Xbox. Honestly, I would really love a raid team for Original Destiny on Xbox and PlayStation. Honestly, I would love them to bring Original Destiny to PC, because I'm telling you, people would come to play it to see what was the original. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with other Destiny people. And, if you're on PlayStation, I will be on, I believe, this weekend at some point playing Original Destiny. I've also been playing WoW, so if you're that, Final Fantasy 14, Hogwarts Legacy, tons of stuff. Anyway, and I got Atomic Hearts, which looks really, really good, and I'm told it's really, really good. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you around the tower.